Welcome back to Beamer's Hunt Garage, guys. We got a dilemma here. Apparently, some of the viewers don't know the difference between the 69 Mach 1 and my 70 Cobra Jet. So we'll just go out here and show one of our subscribers, one of our mutual confidants, and of course he's a YouTuber too. He is confused. I think he was calling this one the Mach 1. This is a 70 Cobra Jet Mustang fastback, okay? I haven't ran the numbers to be positive, but all indications, this thing is a Cobra Jet car. It would have had a Cleveland in it, 4-speed, 9-inch, 350 posi gear. Most of that's gone, but it does still have the original tranny, and the 350 posi was in it. I hurt the posi. I got a single track 350 gear from my buddy Richard Crocker Auto Parts. So it's got a 350 single tracker, 9-inch housing, 9-inch gear in it right now, 350 gears, single track with the top loader, 4-speed. And it's got some indications that kind of proves to me that it is a Cobra Jet car. And this is the one that's got the poop in it. And one of the indications right here, there's a fly, yuck, is the steering wheel. It's got a Cobra on it. And only Cobra Jet cars had that emblem. And that steering wheel's never been changed in this car. Now we could run the numbers, and maybe I'll get my son to do that for me one day. And another indication about this car, all Cobra Jet cars had the one-piece export brace. And it's factory original. And there's the one-piece export brace. This is the one yesterday we opened the hood and showed us a 3312 list number on the carburetor, and there's the one-piece export brace. And the shaker hood. This car's got some options. Some cool options too. So I pretty much determined what this is without actually looking it up with the VIN. And we'll do that one day. I had one friend look it up, and he just said it was just a fastback. Well, if it's just a fastback, then why does it got the shaker hood? Why does it got the one-piece export brace? Why does it have the Cobra snake on the steering wheel? You know, there's no way somebody went to the trouble of, you know, putting, and it's a factory original hood, putting all these options onto just a plain Jane fastback. When that Cobra Jet, that snake on the steering wheel, that's a Cobra Jet car. And so apparently some people don't understand, you know, there's just difference in these cars. That's a 70, and that's my Cobra Jet car. That's my fastback. 70 Mustang, that's a 69. Now you can tell the 70 has 2 headlights. And the 69's got 4. So there's the 4 headlights. And that's how you can tell a 69. Also a 69 that hasn't had the quarter panels changed has the quarter scoop and the fender. Excuse me, and the quarter fender and the rear quarter panel. It's got that scoop in it. And that's the cool part. Now you can get a replacement panel and it doesn't have the scoop in it. These aren't replacement panels, that's stock. Those are $1,400 fiberglass quarter panels that somebody had put on this car. And this car belonged to Kenny Bernstein's head mechanic on Kenny Bernstein's Indy car. So Kenny had a top fuel dragster, he had a funny car. He owned a NASCAR team, and he also owned an IndyCar team. And this car was owned by his head mechanic on Kenny Bernstein's IndyCar. So that's where this car came from. I bought it out of Mount Healthy, Ohio. Okay, so now I hope that's cleared up. That's the 69 Mach 1. That's the 70. Now the 70 has the same quarter panel as the Mach, less the scoop. So when you buy a replacement quarter panel for these cars, you can't get a 69 scoop that's got the hole cut out. It comes as one straight panel, missing the scoop. And what a lot of guys do, like Johnny Parsons, what he'll do is when he replaces the quarter panel, this has had a quarter panel replacement right here. It was wrecked. You can see it went all the way up here. Now the quarter panel's replacements only lip up to right about here. So it just lips over. It's got that, you know, body seam in it, and it lips over. And so you weld it in here. So what Johnny Parsons did was he took the new quarter panel and he cut it off like right here, and then down, and then over. And then he cut the panel off. He took the new panel, made the same cuts, installed the panel, and then had to weld around it to keep the quarter scoop. And I told him, I said, you know, that's a lot of work. I'd rather just cut the scoop out and put a panel on it. He said, oh, you can't do that. That's the cool part of the car. Well, I hate to agree with Johnny Parsons, but you know what? When Johnny's right, Johnny's right. That is what makes the car. That quarter scoop in that car. That's what makes this car cool. That 69 Mach 1 and all 69 fastbacks, only fastbacks had that quarter scoop or Mach 1s. The other coupes, the convertibles, they didn't have that quarter scoop. Only the fastback. So this is not a fastback. Of course, it does have the fastback, but this is an actual Mach 1. The difference in the Mach 1 and the fastback is options. It's got the pleated seats with the red stripe. There's the seats. It's got the wood grain dash. It says Mach 1 on it right there. Mach 1. It's got the 4 rubber mats sewed into the carpet. Right there, you can see it. There's 4 of them. 1, 2 in the back, 2 in the front. And there's the Mach 1. That's what makes it a Mach 1. That and the stripes. And also, the stripe kit, of course, you can put all that on, okay? But this is an original stripe kit. You can tell. That's a vintage. That's got patina. And I like the patina. So, will the Mach ever get painted? Maybe someday. Now, no. But maybe someday we'll do the Mach 1. Now, what we're out here for, besides the identification of a 69 and a 70, is the carburetor on the Mach. Somebody says, oh, that's a 650 on the Mach. Well, you know what? No, it's not. This is not a 650. This Mach 1 has a 750 dual line single vacuum secondary carburetor. I bought it. I know what the carburetor is. So let's just open it up here and we're going to verify it. 3311. Nope, 3310. 3310-3 looks like. That's a 750 dual line single pump vacuum secondary carburetor. I know it. I bought this carburetor. I spec'd it out. Excuse me. Kevin Horney spec'd it out, the engine builder. He built this engine 30 over, TRW flat tops, 10.5 to 1 compression with a special cam that Kevin spec'd out for it. And then on top of that, I had to go out and buy a torque or 2 intake with this 750 single pump vacuum secondary carburetor that's all matching. According to Kevin's figures, this whole engine all matches from the carburetor down to the camshaft. It's all matching configuration for what power and and torque that he was planning on me getting out of this car. And let me tell you something, boys and girls, this thing is badass. I've had it on the road when it was freshly rebuilt, and I was very impressed with the way it ran. And then when I started racing people on the street with it, we're talking 454s, 396 Camaros, Chevelles, big block 440 Chargers. I whipped them all. No one could touch me in the little town I grew up in this car. No one could touch us. No one could touch the Mach. I ran everybody. We're talking 350 Chevy Camaros, and no, I didn't run anybody with a 302, but I don't think they would have touched me. I don't think that 302 Mustang, but I knew somebody had one, and he didn't want none of me. He didn't want none of the Mach. I went around the little town. I raced everybody that was still around that time, and I was late. But I was a late bloomer. I was younger than a lot of the guys back in the day. And when I started racing and running around, it was 1978 when I started racing, street racing. And it was way before, your street race channels and your, street outlaws. Yeah, this guy's wasn't even born yet. I'm almost 60 years old. I've been drag racing, for 20, 40, 42 years. I've been drag racing on the street. So, street racing, give me a break. I've been doing it for 42 years, and I still run somebody, This car here is running better than it has in the probably last 10 or 20 years. Once I get it dialed in a little bit more, yeah. Yeah, we're going to be having some fun with this car. I got to fix the brakes, put a couple tires on it. I want to adjust the clutch. My son bought me a brand new clutch. I installed it. I got to adjust the clutch rod. We're going to do a video on that, how to adjust the clutch on a 69 Mach 1. The clutch rod on it has been beefed up because they bend. You know, you constantly jamming on that clutch, banging gears, you can bend that clutch rod. So I did something a little unique with my clutch rod, and that's for another video. You guys stay tuned for that, because that video is coming up. We better put a sending unit in the gas tank. It's got a fairly new gas tank, a brand new gas sending unit in the tank. It's got a new fuel pump. We fired it up. She's running on her own now, and we could, run it around, but we're going to fix the brakes on it first so we can stop. Got to do a little work on that throttle. I was talking about on the last video with the 70, with the Cobra Jet, Christine. Got to do a little modifying, a little fixing on that, and it won't be long. We're going to be driving this, just locally, probably at the field over here, playing with it, and we're going to have some fun. So stay tuned, guys. 3312-4. That's a 750 dual line, single pump vacuum secondary, 4-barrel carburetor. And I don't want to hear anything from anybody saying, that's a 650. You don't know what you're talking about. I bought this carburetor. I know what it is. I know what I bought. So hopefully, we cleared that up. Hopefully we taught you something, the difference of the 69 and the 70. The 69's got the quarter scoops. The 69's got the dual headlights. And the grill's different. The fender's different too. Totally different. There's no marker light here. The marker light's in the actual balance panel. Of course, you can see it's missing. The front of this car has been through hell. There it is. There's one light there, still in there. It's in the lower splash pan. There's no light here. Now, if you go over to 70, you'll see that there's a marker light, and it's a working marker. It's not a reflector. It's a real marker light. There it is. And it's a single headlight, dual headlight, one single light on each side. So the headlight bucket's different. The fender's different. It's the same exact fender except for the hole. So you can take a 70 fender and put a piece of metal in there and tack it in there and spot it and mud it and make it into a 69 fender. It's just a headlight bucket switched out. And that's it. And then your door's the same. Your hood's the same. Your deck lid's I think your deck lid's even the same, yeah. And these quarter things here are different because the 70 taillight panel is a flat panel. That's another difference. The 69 is a rolled taillight panel. And there it is on the Mach. It's got the rolled 69 taillight panel. And that's the difference in them. There it is. There's your 69 rolled taillight panel. It's rolled. Also, there's a marker light here on the corner of the 69 that the 70 doesn't have. The 70 doesn't have it. Now, of course, I can't show it to you with the right quarter panels because these are fiberglass extended, but there's no marker light here. If there was, they'd have a hole cut out to put it back in. There's no 70 marker light on the quarter panel. Only the 69 had front and rear marker lights. The 70 just had front. And the 69 had them in the lower splash pan, and then the 70 had them in the fender. So, taillights are different, taillight panel is different, same bumper. I believe the deck lid, the deck lid, and these are different because it's a straight piece here. And you can see on both sides, the quarter cap's different. And the 69, it's got that rolled panel again. And they roll in the panel. The rear quarter caps. They roll in the panel. There you go. There's the roll. That's your difference in your quarter caps. And different taillights. And of course, different gas cap. It's got a rolled gas cap. This is a flip top because it's a Mach 1. It's original. Christine now has a different cap on it than what it came with. I put a 70 Mach 1 cap off of the 70. It didn't even have a gas tank, gas lid on it when I got it. It was missing. It was missing a lot of parts. Matter of fact, the whole door on the passenger side was gutted. The driver's side was the original door. So I had to find a door. Well, luckily I've had 2 cars just like this, and I had parts. I had a white one, I had a brown primer one, and I even had a 70 coupe. So I had 3 cars. This is a 4th one. And the engine in Christine, and that's why she gets its name, is the same engine I've had in pork bodies. So you can't kill this engine. You can't kill Christine. That's why she's called Christine. You can't kill the heart. You can't kill the engine. I rebuilt it. It's got chrome rings, stock bore, stock pistons, got a little bigger camshaft. Switched it over to a 4-barrel intake, and it was rated at 210 horsepower. She's probably around 250. She's not a lot of power, you know. It's just a little 302 with a 4-barrel, and it's a small little 650. It could probably take a 750 dual line single pump vacuum secondary instead of that 650. It's not enough. But, you know, any more than what's in there now, it just keeps breaking rear ends. That 4-speed, that top loader, and me banging gears in it, it just keeps and keeps on breaking the rear ends. And I finally put a rear end in it, and it didn't hurt this time. Now it's leaking out the tail shaft. So it's hurt the rear, probably the real bushing or bearing in the 4-speed top loader. So I got to get that fixed. So it's just another thing, you know, when you got a race car like this, you know, if you're out beating on it, you're going to break stuff. It's just part of, you know, part of the you know, life of a racer and part of the life of having an old muscle car. You're going to break stuff, guys. So unless you baby it, and I'm not the one to baby it. You guys see me on the channel for the last 3 years. You know, I don't have any fun just putting around, you know, like an old man. You know, even though I am an old man, I'd like to have some fun with it. So, anyways, I hope that clears it up. Check out our friends, Actions Auto Parts, Jamie Phillips. Check out our buddy. He's got some cool wheels for sale, guys. Keystone Classics, Kragers. He's got car parts, truck parts, late model, early stuff. He's got old Chrysler, old Ford stuff. I mean, old GM stuff. Check him out. Square body stuff. Check out my friend Actions Auto Parts. And we like Auto Salvage Outlaws. Also, Scott Speed Shop. And we're out of here, guys. See you on the next one. Bye-bye. That car is bad to the bone. Christine.